Hello and welcome to Community Chats. I'm your host, Aley Hammer, and today we're joined with Dave Richards, the CEO of Atmail. Dave, thank you so much for being here today. Can you start by telling us a little bit about Atmail?
Well, firstly, thanks for having me, Aley. Atmail's 22 years old now, and we've been powering other people's brands through the older social network on the internet, email, in that time. We started off with an on-premise software, and we've, like most other companies in that space, we've evolved and moved into cloud. But, it wasn't an overnight transition. It wasn't as simple as just taking the software, installing it on a server and going, hey, we're now a cloud provider. Having it as a conscious journey was really, I put down most of our success to. Our first iteration was exactly that. We took our software, we put on our own tin in a colo data center. We then moved into things like OpenStack providers, and now we're on the AWS cloud. But every step of the way, we've had to relearn, we've had to retool and build upon what we already knew. And today, we are still powering other people's brands through white label email, but we're the only people that are doing it as an AWS partner on the AWS cloud.
Wow, what a unique service. And as you said, the only one of its kind, really. So when it comes to emails, Dave, you really do take away the heavy lifting for the customers. You guys take care of maintenance, virus protection, spam management, you name it. So how do you do all of this for your customers?
Well, look, first it starts with the people. Our business is built on our people, just like most other people's businesses are built on people. We are email experts. Our people are email experts. They stay up to date with a continually moving and very dynamic environment. Email doesn't sound like it's continually moving and dynamic. It's been around since the internet has been around, but trust me, it does. It's very, very hard to recruit someone out of college and just go, hey, go be an email expert. And inside our virtual four walls, there's a tacit knowledge transfer that happens every day, and it's built in our cultures, our values, our processes. As I said, running an email system sounds simple, but it's just not. It's very complex. It's actually one of the first things that people observe once they start getting into email and all the associated technologies. You don't just need to know email, you need to know networking, DNS, authentication, authorization, the list goes on, right? So on top of this, there's an entire industry now built around exploiting that technology, viruses, spam, phishing, all the bad guys. They're active, they're persistent, and they're out there working right now to exploit people's platforms. So how can you expect someone just straight out of college or, not even involved in the industry to stay on top of this day in, day out? How do you stay ahead of these bad actors? And this is really where AWS comes in for us. It allows us to focus very much on what we do and not do what we don't do. We are email experts. We don't want to be data center experts. We don't want to be DBAs. We live and breathe email. So we let AWS do their thing and we do our thing.
I love that. And it sounds like you guys make things so much easier for the customer, and you also reduce costs, which is always a bonus. So why would a customer hand over their email management to you? I mean, I'm assuming this data could be really sensitive, and I feel fearful even just thinking about it. So why would a customer do it?
Oh, yeah. As I mentioned, there's certainly those bad actors out there that want that data, right? But now we've also got governments and legislating how users' data must be accessed and how handled and processed. Such as the EU's GDPR or Singapore's PDPA. It's coming everywhere now. Like every jurisdiction seems to be coming up with their own version. Some legislations require data sovereignty. Other cases, it's quite simply a customer's internal policies that require data to stay within the borders. Again, AWS comes to the party here for us because we can pretty much deploy inside any jurisdiction we need. And we can comply with all those local and global requirements. Combine that legislative requirement with the data protection that's really part of a compelling story for customers to outsource their platform into our cloud services, particularly as it's the core of focus of what we do and what we do every day. We notice that the consumer mailbox is evolving, as it always has. It's never really been static. The mailbox is becoming more and more about a digital locker for people's lives. It's where they store their movie tickets, their travel tickets, their itineraries, their reminders for important events coming up in their lives. And our roadmap is responding, as it always has, for providing not just the basic security functions to protect an inbox, but the tools to protect individuals' data and even our families and their children, and in some cases, grandparents, to navigate the online journey. This speaks to the promise that many of our customers make in the markets, that their brand can be trusted and they'll protect people online.
Wow, that makes sense. And Dave, Atmail has been in the email industry for 22 years. So you are showing your age here, which means you guys have truly watched the internet as it's gone from, I guess, dial-up to cloud. So how have you innovated as the tech world has grown around you? Because I'm sure there's been massive changes that you guys have had to kind of learn along the way with tech.
Yeah, certainly. The internet started, I guess, as a promise of it was the best of the best, the place to collaborate, that everyone would come together. And that certainly is the case, no doubt about it. We've not seen this level of collaboration any time in history. But along the way, we've all been exposed to that worst of the worst as part of that journey. And today, everyone's online presence comes with that backdrop of requiring security. Atmail itself started life with a simple vision, allow people to access their email over the web. This involved quite rapidly into a passion for user journeys. It's not just accessing their email over the web, but how can people be more productive? How can they be safe? How can they be protected online? And really, this user journey has really acted as our North Star during the last 22 years. We've always focused on the user. We've always focused on what they need and not what we think they need. Now, sometimes this requires us to surf the technology wave. For example, what new feature did AWS release last week that we can exploit for our users and ensure their journey is even better? But sometimes it means that we need to be a leader of change. A few years back, we saw an amazing proposal that was made to the IETF, or the Internet Engineering Task Force, for a JMAP standard. We so firmly believed that this iteration in email was so important to our users and their journey. We gone ahead and just implemented it before it even became a standard. It's still going through the ratification process, but we've still built the most complete implementation of it today. So certainly, while our products have changed, our users' journeys have changed, and their needs have changed, and the technology has changed all around us. The latest obviously being that of cloud services and the amazing functions that are available there. We remain true to our North Star, which is to deliver what users need and what makes their lives easier. That's how we innovated that, man.
I love it. And honestly, that shows because the business has been around for 22 years. So you can only manage that and pull that off if you are authentic, you're staying up with the trends, you're innovating, and you put your people first. So we're very much aligned in that regard with AWS as well, with our leadership principles. So Dave, thank you so much for coming on the show. And it's been such a pleasure to hear about the business and how you've grown and how you leverage AWS as well. So thank you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you very much for your time today, Aley. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Dave. Bye.
Bye.